Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome back. This is your fourth lesson of this week, which is writing. And in this we're going to do directed writing, that's letter writing. Okay, the objectives for this lesson are to develop the ability to communicate clearly, accurately and effectively as per the requirement of the question, and to use wide range of vocabulary as well as correct grammar, spelling and punctuations. Okay, what is the directed writing letter type we are going to do is apology letter. And what is an apology letter? A sincere apology letter comes right out and says what you did wrong, and a sincere apology quickly highlights your wrongdoing and then expresses remorse for the misstep or the mistake that you have done or committed. And a sincere apology letter does not require groveling. Okay, what does that mean? Well, groveling means to act in such a way to get somebody's favor or forgiveness. Okay, so this will spark a discussion between the two people, the person who has been offended, and then it will also restore the dignity that you have feel burned up because of your bad behavior. So apology letter, the work of apology letter is to have the communication get up again, to have it bucket up again, and then to resolve the situation if you have behaved badly or if you have committed a mistake or something that has made the situation worsen up. Okay, types of apology letters. Well, it can be a personal apology letter or a professional apology letter. Personal means something you have behaved very badly with your friend, with your family member or your cousin or something like that. And professional is you have committed some error at your workplace, or you have misbehaved with your boss or your colleague or something like that. So it can be a mistake and it can be correcting that with the principal or your friend or customer, teacher or boss, whoever the letter is addressed to. Now, how to write an apology letter? Well, there are four basic components of an apology letter in which you have to follow. That's a pattern. Like, first of all, when you start, you have to express your remorse and then take the responsibility and then offer to make amendments, mean to correct whatever mistake has been done, and then vow means to promise not to commit that mistake again. Okay, sample of apology letter, like how do you start? How do you express remorse? You can begin your letter with I'm sorry or I apologize for, and you have to be authentic and true in your desire to convey the remorse, especially in the opening lines, and then empathize with the person offended to show that you understand why your actions or your words were offensive or hurtful. What was the reason? Okay. Then how to amend means how to correct that mistake. So what you can do to resolve the situation, if you can offer an olive branch means some other way to resolve it, amendments. And then finally, to assure the other party that you will not do this again, or this mistake or that error will not be committed again, or if it was your bad behavior, such a behavior will not be shown or expressed again. Now, the key difference between a personal and professional letter. What is the difference between the two? Well, it's the tone of the letter. A letter to a friend or family member can take on a more casual tone, while a professional apology letter will err on the side of formality. It means you have to be very formal and convincing, and you will not be using any casual words if it's a professional apology letter. And either way, a well-written letter opens the door to communication, and that's an essential element of any relationship, personal or professional. Okay, now here are different samples of how to express remorse. Means the opening sentences. I'm sorry that, I'm very sorry about, different. But one thing you have to be careful about, do not use contractions. There are examples given over here in contraction, like I'm, do not use I'm, use I am. I'd, do not use I'd, use I would. Okay, so in letters you should avoid contractions. You have to use complete spelling words. Okay, the task for this week is your friend was ill with dengue fever and was hospitalized. You happened to be out of town on an important family wedding while he was ill. Write an apology letter to your friend and you must include the following: express remorse for not being able to visit him, state the reason for not visiting, and offer to visit your friend at home. You have to cover all the 3 points in detail, and you should make your letter apologetic and it should be empathizing. Start your letter with dear friend. Friend is in the bracket, means you can write the name of your friend. And now one more thing is that you have been given 3 points, which means 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph will be having the point in which you will be expressing the remorse and stating why you were not able to visit him. The second paragraph will be having the reason, and the first it is to express remorse and for not visiting him on time when he was ill, and the second one states why, the reason you did not visit him, and the third one is to offer your friend to visit him at home. Now he's out of hospital and feeling better, and you offer him to visit him at home and to express your concerns and to wish him a better life, a better healthy life ahead. So these are the 3 paragraphs which you have to have in your letter, and see that you use good vocabulary and sequence markers. Your information should be organized and in sequence according to the pattern that is given. You cannot change this pattern. It's a fixed structure that you have to follow, and the tense that you have to use, it will be past tense. Past tense means not just simple past, it depends: past simple, past continuous, past perfect continuous, according to the information that you are writing in the letter. So be careful about this, where you have to shift the tense and in which way you have to express everything in the letter. In the end, you will end the letter with your name, signature and date. That will come on the left side under the letter, and do not forget to write the number of words, word count. You have to count the words and write, because for directed writing the number of words is from 200 to 300. So you have to strictly follow all the instructions and the pattern given in this letter. You should not move an inch away from this, because your marks at the end depend on all this. Your grammar and your punctuation is strictly monitored when you are given marks. So practice accordingly. Thank you. Best of luck. Now, after reading the question, you can look at this table over here. I have shared it in the previous week as well. Before starting the question, what you have to go through. Who am I writing this for? Like, who is it I'm asking for apology? So in this letter, it's your friend. So why am I writing this? The purpose of the letter. The purpose is to apologize for not visiting your friend when he was ill, when he was suffering from dengue in the hospital. And then how is this piece of writing going to appear, whether it's what it means, what is the format. So the format will be for informal letter, and then what type of words am I going to use, because this letter is addressed to is an apologetic letter to your friend, so it will be informal and a bit of convincing and persuasive, so that you can convince your friend and apologize, and then ask for a way to visit him again at his home place, so that he does not feel offended. Okay, so this is how you're going to look at the pattern of the letter that you're going to attempt. Now the checklist. After you have done, you're going to go through this checklist to check your work. Is it according to the mark? First of all, have all those instructions been followed? If yes, then you're going to write the evidence. The evidence will be the sentences and the points in short forms or briefs that this is what you have written for what was asked about. And then, is the purpose of the writing clear? Means over here it's an apology letter, so is your apology obvious and clear in your letter? And is the format correctly used? Means the salutation, the closing, the how you're going to end it. I just told you the pattern. Salutation is already given, and the pattern how you're going to close, I just told you that it should be with name, signature and date, and the number of words, the word count that you have to write on the right side in the bracket. And then you have to write, if you're doing it accordingly and you have done it in that way, you will write yes, and the evidence that you have written this for the salutation in the evidence box and this for the closing in the evidence box. If no, then the remarks that you will redo it according to the required format. And after that, the next one is, are the words used appropriate for the task? Like in your apology letter, the words, the vocabulary that you're using, is it according to the letter or is it out of the way? It should be convincing and persuasive, so you will be using words for convincing your friend, like what was so important that you could not come to him to visit him in the hospital when he was suffering from dengue. The family wedding, why was it so important and why you could not miss that event? So those are the words, the words required to convince or to write all this and to convince your friend should be appropriate according to the task. And the tone of the task, over here it's an informal letter, so so you will not be using a formal language, so it will be an informal language. So that will be the tone, and you have to write the evidence according to it, which sentences you used to prove it. And then, have all the points been included? All the points means the 3 paragraphs, all the 3 paragraphs, what are the requirements of the 3 paragraphs? Have all those 3 points been included? And then have all the points been elaborated, means I said 3 points means 3 paragraphs, not 3 sentences. So elaboration is required. Details are to be entered according to it. When you're expressing remorse, you also express your concern and your deep concern that you could not visit him, well, you really felt for him. Okay, so you have to have those sentences in such a form that it makes a small paragraph. Second one is the reason why could not visit. So you're going to tell about the importance of the wedding that you attended, where was the wedding, whether it was in the city or out of city, and what was why you could not reach him at the hospital, the timings and everything. So a short paragraph about that. And then in the end, how to make up with your friend by saying that you could come to visit him at his house and bring him a token of get well soon and something like that. So make it a good letter with appropriate words and a good structure and a sequence and organized ideas of everything. So I hope you will follow all my instructions, and if you require help, you can check on the net. The resource have been given to you. You can check from the resource list. You'll find plenty of ideas from which you can take help and complete your task. Thank you.